Charles Dickens' most powerful quotes rise above and succeed. Life is a paradox, filled with both joy and hardship, success and failure, light and darkness. As Charles Dickens famously wrote, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." These words remind us that life's journey is never one-dimensional. It is a mixture of triumphs and struggles. Seeking truth and self-awareness? Subscribe to classic quotes that inspire for daily motivation. In our best moments, we experience love, kindness, and success. These are times of growth, discovery, and fulfillment. But alongside them come challenges, loss, suffering, and uncertainty. It is easy to focus on difficulties and forget that even in hardship, there is potential for strength and wisdom. The key to navigating this contrast is perspective. Instead of seeing struggles as obstacles, we can view them as lessons that shape our character. Hardships teach us resilience, kindness, and gratitude. They make the joys of life even more meaningful. Kindness and love are powerful forces that bridge the gap between the best and worst of times. As Dickens said, "A loving heart is the truest wisdom." Even in dark moments, kindness can bring light. By embracing both the highs and lows, we learn that neither success nor failure is permanent. Every experience, good or bad, contributes to our journey. The true measure of a life well lived is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to find meaning in both the best and worst of times. A loving heart is the truest wisdom because it transcends knowledge and intellect, embracing the power of kindness and compassion. Charles Dickens believed that wisdom is not merely about intelligence or experience, but about the ability to love and care for others. A heart filled with love sees beyond differences, forgives easily, and understands the silent struggles of those around us. One of Dickens' most profound beliefs is that no one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of another. Every person, no matter their circumstances, has the ability to make a difference. A kind word, a small act of generosity, or simply offering a listening ear can bring immense comfort to someone in need. The value of a person is not determined by their status or wealth, but by their ability to spread kindness. In a world often dominated by self-interest, those who extend a helping hand shine the brightest. Equally important is the way we approach life and relationships. Dickens urges us to have a heart that never hardens, a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. This means cultivating a heart that remains open and compassionate despite disappointments, a temperament that remains patient even in adversity, and a gentle touch that never inflicts harm. These qualities are not signs of weakness but of great strength. It takes courage to remain kind in a world that can often be harsh. Compassion and love are forces that create ripples far beyond what we can see. They have the power to heal wounds, mend broken spirits, and bring hope to those who have lost their way. In the end, the greatest wisdom is not found in books or achievements but in the simple act of loving others. Those who live with an open heart, a patient spirit, and a gentle touch leave a lasting impact on the world. By embodying these virtues, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also find deeper meaning and fulfillment in our own. Suffering is often life's greatest teacher. It has the power to break us, but it also has the power to transform us. As Charles Dickens wisely said, "Suffering has been stronger than all other teaching and has taught me to understand what my heart used to be." Pain forces us to reflect, to confront our weaknesses, and to find a depth of resilience we never knew existed. While happiness is fleeting, suffering leaves lasting lessons, shaping our character and refining our souls. Through hardship, we gain wisdom, empathy, and a greater appreciation for life's joys. Dickens himself understood the transformative power of adversity. He once wrote, "I have been bent and broken, but I hope into a better shape." Life's struggles do not have to destroy us. They can mold us into something stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Difficulties test our limits, but they also push us toward growth. A person who has endured pain and hardship often emerges with a greater sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of themselves and others. The key is to embrace the process, to recognize that challenges are not merely obstacles but opportunities for self-improvement. Even in moments of deep sorrow and despair, there is strength to be found. Dickens reminds us, there is prodigious strength in sorrow and despair. When we experience grief, disappointment, or loss, we often feel as though we have reached our breaking point. However, it is precisely in these moments that we discover an inner strength we never knew we had. Pain can ignite resilience, pushing us to fight for a better future. It can teach us the importance of hope, of perseverance, and of believing in the possibility of renewal. Life is never without suffering, but it is through these struggles that we find our true selves. Every hardship carries a lesson, every setback holds the seed of a comeback, and every sorrow can lead to newfound strength. In the end, suffering is not just something to endure, it is something that shapes us into better, wiser, and stronger individuals. In times of crisis, the power of truth becomes evident. As Charles Dickens wisely stated, there is nothing so strong or safe in an emergency of life as the simple truth. When faced with challenges, people often seek complex solutions or attempt to manipulate reality to their advantage. However, the simplest and most reliable path is honesty. Truth provides clarity, allowing us to make sound decisions without the burden of deception or self-doubt. It is the foundation of trust and stability, both in personal struggles and in broader societal issues. When the world seems uncertain, holding on to truth gives us a sense of direction and security. Fear and doubt are among the greatest obstacles to success. Dickens encourages us to move beyond them with the words, "Renounce all doubts and fears, and let your purpose drive you forward." Too often, people hesitate to take action because they fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. However, progress is only possible when we push past these limitations. Letting go of self-doubt allows us to focus on our goals with unwavering determination. Fear can be paralyzing, but purpose provides momentum, helping us overcome obstacles with courage and resilience. History and personal experiences show that those who succeed are not necessarily the most talented or fortunate, but rather those who refuse to be held back by fear. They embrace challenges, knowing that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. When we eliminate doubt, we gain the freedom to take bold steps, trust our instincts, and pursue our ambitions without hesitation. Ultimately, truth and purpose are powerful guiding forces. Truth keeps us grounded, ensuring that we do not stray from our values or make choices based on illusions. Purpose fuels our journey, giving us the strength to persist even when the road is difficult. By embracing honesty and moving forward without fear, we unlock our true potential and create a life filled with meaning, confidence, and success. True wisdom is not confined to intellect alone. It also resides in the heart. As Charles Dickens wisely noted, there is a wisdom of the head and a wisdom of the heart. Intellectual knowledge allows us to analyze, plan, and make rational decisions, but emotional intelligence gives us the ability to connect, empathize, and understand others on a deeper level. A person may be highly intelligent, yet without the wisdom of the heart, they may struggle to find true happiness or meaningful relationships. True wisdom is a balance of logic and compassion, reason and intuition. In life, many people hesitate to act on their dreams, often uttering the words, "I wish." However, as Dickens reminds us, the most important thing in life is to stop saying, "I wish," and start saying, "I will." Wishing implies passivity. It suggests a desire for change but lacks the commitment to make it happen. On the other hand, saying, "I will" signifies determination and action. It transforms aspirations into reality by pushing us to take the necessary steps toward our goals. Success and fulfillment come not from idle dreams but from effort and persistence. Those who achieve great things do not merely wish for them. They take action, face challenges head-on, and refuse to be discouraged by setbacks. The difference between success and regret often lies in the willingness to act. Many people look back on their lives not regretting the things they did, but the things they left undone. By embracing both the wisdom of the mind and the wisdom of the heart, we gain a well-rounded perspective on life. We make decisions not only based on logic but also with kindness and understanding. And when we replace hesitation with determination, we take control of our destiny. Instead of longing for a better life, we create it, one step at a time, with confidence, courage, and an unshakable will to succeed. The choices we make shape our lives, much like a blacksmith forging chains link by link. As Charles Dickens wisely observed, we forge the chains we wear in life. Every decision, habit, and action contributes to the life we ultimately experience. Some chains are made of positive habits, discipline, and kindness, leading to a fulfilling life. Others, however, are formed through poor choices, fear, and procrastination, binding us to stagnation and regret. One of the most common ways people unknowingly forge restrictive chains is through procrastination. As Dickens warns, procrastination is the thief of time. Time is our most valuable resource, yet many of us allow distractions, doubts, and excuses to rob us of opportunities. We convince ourselves that we have endless tomorrows to chase our dreams, improve ourselves, or mend relationships, but in reality, time moves forward relentlessly. The longer we delay, the heavier the weight of regret becomes. Procrastination does not simply steal time, it steals potential. It replaces ambition with hesitation and progress with inaction. Those who constantly delay important tasks often find themselves trapped in a cycle of stress, guilt, and missed opportunities. A dream left unpursued, a goal left unfinished, or a relationship left unrepaired all become links in the chain of regret. The good news is that just as we forge these chains, we also have the power to break them. The key lies in action. By confronting procrastination and taking even small steps toward our goals, we weaken the grip of hesitation. Productivity, discipline, and courage replace the chains of delay with the freedom of progress. Life is shaped by the choices we make daily. We must choose wisely, act decisively, and refuse to let procrastination steal our time. Instead of forging chains that hold us back, we should build a path that leads to fulfillment, success, and a life free from regret. Life is a delicate balance of joy and sorrow, triumphs and struggles. In moments of hardship, it is easy to dwell on past misfortunes, allowing them to cast long shadows over our present. However, as Charles Dickens wisely advised, reflect upon your present blessings, of which every man has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some. Every person, no matter their circumstances, has experienced difficulties. But just as hardships are inevitable, so too are the blessings that fill our lives, if only we choose to see them. Gratitude is a powerful force. It shifts our focus from what we have lost to what we still have. When we appreciate the people around us, the opportunities before us, and even the simple joys of daily life, our perspective transforms. Challenges become lessons, struggles become stepping stones, and setbacks become opportunities for growth. The past may have shaped us, but it does not have to define us. What truly matters is how we move forward, embracing the good in our lives rather than dwelling on what has gone wrong. Difficult times often feel endless, but just like storm clouds, they will eventually pass. Dickens reminds us, "The cloud of care that hangs over you will pass, as clouds do." No hardship lasts forever. Though worries and anxieties may seem overwhelming in the moment, time has a way of easing burdens and bringing clarity. Even the darkest nights give way to the dawn. When faced with adversity, it is important to remember that brighter days are ahead. By shifting our focus to gratitude and holding onto the belief that challenges are temporary, we free ourselves from the weight of despair. Life is filled with blessings, some obvious, others hidden in unexpected places. When we learn to appreciate them, we cultivate resilience, peace, and a heart open to joy. Instead of allowing the past to hold us back, we can embrace the present with hope and confidence in the future. Creativity is a force that breathes life into the world. It is more than just assembling pieces together. It is about envisioning something before it exists and nurturing it with passion. As Charles Dickens insightfully put it, the whole difference between construction and creation is exactly this. A thing constructed can only be loved after it is constructed, but a thing created is loved before it exists. This distinction is profound, as it highlights the emotional connection between the creator and their work. When something is merely constructed, it follows a predefined plan, often with functionality as the primary goal. A bridge, a building, or a machine is appreciated for its usefulness, but the love for it comes only after it has been completed and proven its worth. Creation, however, is different. It begins in the heart and mind of its creator, long before it takes form. An artist loves their painting before the first brushstroke touches the canvas. A writer cherishes their story before the first word is written. A musician hears the melody in their soul before a single note is played. This love for creation is what drives innovation and passion. It is what pushes people to take risks, invest time, and endure failures in pursuit of something that has not yet come to life. True creators are fueled by belief, not just in their work but in the journey itself. They find joy in the process, knowing that what they are bringing into the world is an extension of their imagination and emotions. This concept applies not only to art but to life itself. Dreams, relationships, and even personal growth are creations that require love and belief before they fully manifest. When we embrace this mindset, we see that our greatest achievements start with a vision, a spark of inspiration that guides us forward. To create is to love something before it exists, and that love is what makes all the difference. Society is a complex web of interactions, shaped by both virtue and vice. As Charles Dickens insightfully observed, "If there were no bad people, there would be no good lawyers." This statement highlights an undeniable truth. The existence of wrongdoing necessitates justice. Without conflict, the role of those who uphold the law would be diminished. Lawyers, judges, and advocates arise in response to the challenges posed by those who bend or break the rules. Their presence is a reminder that fairness and integrity must be actively defended in a world where dishonesty and corruption persist. Yet, justice is often intertwined with economic power. Dickens also noted, "The civility which money will purchase is rarely extended to those who have none." This reality underscores the harsh truth that wealth influences treatment in society. Those with financial means often receive respect, better opportunities, and even preferential treatment under the law. Meanwhile, those without resources may struggle for recognition, fairness, and dignity. The social divide created by money is not just about material comfort but about how people are valued and treated in different spheres of life. However, the circumstances we find ourselves in are not always imposed upon us. In many cases, we contribute to our own struggles. As Dickens wisely put it, "We forge the chains we wear in life. Our choices, actions, and even our inactions shape the burdens we carry. Whether it is through poor decisions, procrastination, or misplaced priorities, we often create obstacles that limit our freedom and happiness." This statement serves as a reminder that while external forces play a role, personal responsibility cannot be ignored. Injustice, social inequality, and personal struggles are deeply interconnected. While the world may not always be fair, awareness of these truths allows us to navigate it more wisely. By making conscious choices, striving for fairness, and recognizing the impact of wealth and power, we can break free from the chains we forge and work toward a more just and balanced existence. Hope and sacrifice are two forces that shape the course of history and human destiny. Charles Dickens' words, "I see a beautiful city and a brilliant people rising from this abyss," capture the essence of resilience and renewal. Even in the darkest of times, there is always the potential for growth and transformation. Societies may face hardship, but from despair can emerge a brighter future. Just as cities are rebuilt after destruction, people, too, have the ability to rise from their struggles, becoming wiser and stronger through adversity. However, progress and renewal often come at a cost. Sacrifice is a fundamental part of change, and Dickens highlights this in the powerful statement, "It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known." These words, spoken by a character who chooses to lay down his life for another, emphasize the nobility of selflessness. Sometimes, the most meaningful actions are those that require us to put others before ourselves. Whether through small acts of kindness or great personal sacrifices, the willingness to give for a greater cause defines true heroism. Beyond individual sacrifice, these words remind us that redemption is always possible. A life filled with mistakes or regrets can still find meaning through one final, selfless act. It is never too late to change, to do something good, or to find peace within oneself. Even in death, there can be honor and purpose, especially when it is chosen for the sake of others. Ultimately, Dickens' reflections teach us that hardship is not the end but a transition towards something greater. A broken world can be rebuilt, and individuals can find redemption through sacrifice. Whether in history, literature, or our own lives, the power of hope and selflessness continues to inspire, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, a brilliant future can still rise from the abyss.